back to World of Tanks, and it's Sunday, so it's time for another random destruction. I hope you've all had a good weekend. Now, I'm in the M56 Scorpion, Tier 7 American Premium Tank Destroyer. It's wide park, very, very small map, not really the ideal sort of map for a tank destroyer like this. It's, you know, like I say, very, very small map, even though this is a very sneaky tank destroyer. There's not many places where you can actually put that to your advantage and sort of outspot your enemies because, well, as you can see there by my view range as it is now, it's nearly all the way across the map. In fact, yeah, if I was sat sort of somewhere in the middle, I probably could see all the way across it, both sides. But it's not a little bad tank destroyer, this. It's only got 1 mil of armour all round, yeah. That's right, 1 mil of armour, so don't get hit is basically the rule of the day. It doesn't get preferential matchmaking, which is fine because it's got 219 pen on its 90mm, 7.6 rounds a minute, 240 damage, 275 on its heat ammunition, which is the premium. And yeah, I mean, it's a bit like with the CDC. It doesn't matter what's shooting at you, whether it's a a tier 6, or in this case tier 5 or a tier 9, it's still going to pen. So yeah, if you've got enough penetration yourself when you're going, why not go into those higher tier matches, and this does. It doesn't have a fully traversable gun. It's got a fairly wide gun arc at the front, as you can see there. It's got good gun depression, and it is basically a gun with a small gun shield on top of tracks, and that's about it. And you can actually, if you get the right place, you can use that gun depression to just expose the gun and the gun shield, and the gun shield has a big hole in one side of it, which does actually count as a no-hit zone, so it can be quite hard to hit from range. And you can see just how sneaky it is. I'm shooting at that AMX M4 down there. I'm just sat back from these bushes, using that gun depression, using the ground to try and hide myself as much as I can, and using the foliage as well, and yeah, being quite happy with the results so far. Just taking him out. There's the M4 again. He can't quite figure out where I am. He knows I'm up here somewhere, I think. He's not quite sure where. And that's one of the things I like about this, and obviously I've got a camouflage net as well, and binoculars, so it really does reduce my detectability range. Now, where's that Panzer IV gone? Is that him? There he is. I thought there was something else up there. There was. There he is. Managed to finish him off. There is a tank destroyer up there somewhere, and I've been spotted, and there's artillery in play. So I really do not want to get hit by artillery. Oh, there's that tank destroyer, I think. Possibly. There was one up there, but it did disappear off radar fairly quickly. Oh, can I hit Arty from here? Yeah, it's quite a nippy little thing, this. It's not as fast as the E25, but it's certainly quite nippy. Fairly mobile. I'm trying to think. It's got a fairly good traverse on the spot. The gun traverse, as you can see there, is very, very slow though, unfortunately. But it is possible in sort of late game to speed, sort of speed up behind people that are sort of one-hit kills for you, and put one into them, or sort of go past them and turn around fairly quick. You can't handbrake in these. You can use the handbrake, you just can't do the sharp turns in tank destroyers. But I felt fairly safe there on the side of that hill for a minute. As you can see, when I stop in the camouflage net, well, when I stop, my detectability thing goes down a little bit anyway, because it's got such good concealment while stationary, and then when the camouflage net kicks in as well, it's a very hard tank to spot. And on the larger maps, like steppes, you really can just outspot things and tear them apart with your rate of fire. And all we've got left now is the tank destroyer and Arty, and it's an 87 that's left. Now, I was just wondering if Arty was going to make a run up that street, and I might be able to get a hit, but it looks like somebody's going to deal with him, so I'm going to try and deal with this 87, and hopefully he's still looking the other way down the tracks. And he is. He knows I'm here now, and that was very poorly aimed by myself. Let's try and track him. There we go. and he might have burnt through his repair kit, and I've definitely got enough rate of fire to just, well, I was going to say keep him tracked, but it only took one more to finish him off. And now I've got RT left. Can I get him? No, he's making a run for it. I don't blame him. It looks like he's trying to get himself into a position where he can actually back himself into a corner and try and fight off anybody coming at him. So, let's go and try and root him out a bit. But as you can see, yeah, it's quite nippy. I seem to think, though, that it does have a fairly wide turning circle at speed. I can't quite remember now. I only went in it a couple of days ago. But anyway, did this match. I was quite happy with the results of this match. I have chosen USA this weekend, I'm afraid. Yes, I do feel a bit treasonous for that, but there's just simply more things in the USA line that I'm grinding out at the moment, so it just made a bit more sense to me, because that's the weekends when I do a lot of my sort of tech tree grinds and what have you, so yeah, it just made a bit more sense. But yeah, quite happy with that. 2,500 damage done, high caliber, second class mastery, 134,000 silver, but that did come with an op as well, but I did get myself at the top of the table. But it's a cracking little sort of TD, that it is great fun. I do like it. Now we've got another replay coming up for you next. The picture quality probably won't be quite as good because it was recorded on my PlayStation again. I basically did that match, came out of it, and got my 1 year anniversary, which was really nice. So I got 7 days of premium and my 1 year badge. So I thought I'd jump into the T29 to get my 1 year badge on the T29. So every tank I go in now, I unlock the 1 year sort of emblem for it. I'm not putting it on all of them, but I wanted it on my T29 because I'm chasing that third mark of excellence. I don't go in it very often, just sort of when the mood takes me, but I do really like it. And I think my damage standing in it at the moment is, well, sorry, in this match is about 88% when I go into it, and it does go up. Now, I would have normally recorded this, obviously using my capture card, but like I said, I just jumped in. For whatever reason, I just completely forgot to press record and had, well, a decent match. But just to give you a quick recap of the T29, it's got 105mm gun, 198 pen, 320 damage, 5.26 rounds a minute. The turret is incredibly strong at the front, 279mm, 127 on the sides, 102 on the rear. And he's just left his backside poking out for me to put a couple of shots in. He's still not moved. The hull armour isn't too bad for a tier 7. I mean, it's 102. And it's quite well angled as well. The Tiger, that's 100mm and not angled, so you know it's not too bad on the front. But you know, you want to go as hull down as often as possible, and that's probably the best way to play this tank. What a lot of T29 drivers do, unfortunately, though, is sort of find a hull down golden spot on the map and don't move. Not all of them, but you do see it, and that's not the way to play this. It's sort of, you know, move about and get yourself into that position wherever you are. Now, I took an early hit from RT coming into the town, as you saw there. And, oh, sorry, yeah, it's a tier 7 match, Fisherman's Bay encounter. There you go. Yeah, I took an early RT hit coming into the town. There doesn't seem to be much of an enemy push through the town. Just a medium poking around that corner, so I thought I'd leave those guys to deal with it and come and try and do something about the enemy tanks that are capping up in the middle. And I do take a bit of risk coming up this middle road there from the village, but I'd got a fairly decent view range across. There was nothing popping up apart from that, was it a T43? It was just over the ridge there. So I felt fairly confident in sort of working my way up, staying just over to the right hand side of the road, keeping an eye out. I was kind of expecting maybe something coming in from the left hand side, but no, nothing. So I've managed to get up towards the cap. I think it had been reset just before I got here, but I've got good shots on this Black Prince. and start working on him. And anybody else that I can see, to be honest. There's just left enough sticking out for me to keep putting the shots in. I think he's pulled back, but I've just got that other track. Oh, that was a slightly high roll there. 361. Not quite enough to finish him off. And there's the enemy T29. Although, yeah, it looks like he's got the 90mm equipped. You could see the muzzle brake on the outline there on the end of the barrel. And I'm just trying to keep them away from cap. And I'm going to try and put a bit of support down towards that northwestern corner. I took a hit from that T29, putting into him damages ammo rack, which is nice. Now, with him having that one, and with me being as angled as I am, and I've still got most of my health, so I can be fairly risky. I managed to track him, get another one into him slightly low, and I take a hit in the tracks from the T-34-100, and I'm not entirely sure where he is. And the T-29, well, yeah, he's getting out of there, and yeah, I can hardly blame him. So I'm going to pull back a little bit. I don't fancy taking a shot inside. And I'm guessing that was the T-34-100 again that just bounced off the front of my turret. And I'm going to try and push into cap, because the scores are still fairly even. It's 10-9. So we've got one on them. There's the enemy Ziska. Is he going to pop out? No, he's done. And yeah, took a bit of a close miss from that 88 there. And something else bounced off the front. Now I'm going to try and angle myself against this 88. Oh, he's turned. Now there's a medium and a tank destroyer coming up on him. So he's sort of turned to face them, and he's going to, yeah, he's backing down that hill. And he's going to, yeah, start looking at me again. I think he's put some cover in between himself and that medium and that tank destroyer. But I'm angled enough that all he's doing is knocking my tracks off. I can't see from here, even if he's upgraded or stock. I'm not entirely sure. But he's done now. Building up a bit of a lead, got a 2-kill lead now. There's the T-34-100. And I managed to get a good hit, but then a T-34-85 knocks my tracks off, and again. And I don't really want to use my repair kit to put my tracks back up, because I've got a, you know, a decent repair skill on this. And luckily I didn't need to. I'll keep that just in case. Although there's only the 2 mediums left and a light tank. There's the 5916. There's the T-34-85, he's on very low health, and the T-34-100, he's on quite low health, once he got left about a third, and he's heading round into the town. And the reason I've just sort of, well, I didn't even really intend to stay in cap, to be honest. I was just working my way up the middle of the road, fighting off the enemy tanks that were sort of going for cap, and just ended up in it. And that's basically why I started looking around and seeing what health people had got, because I realised I was in cap. I realised, you know, I was capping out. I saw the T-34-100 coming round into the town, trying to sneak up behind us, and I thought, well, those guys have got enough time to take care of the light and the medium, because they're on very low health. I'll keep an eye out for this guy coming round, and I'll try and deal with him. Now, I did manage to reset the cap by tracking me, and I just thought, you know what, bugger it. I wasn't going to bother trying to chase him down, but I could just see him sneaking through the town, popping up somewhere else, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for him. And I should have let it aim fully, but I didn't, and yeah, just missed. Oh, took a hit then though. Knocked my tracks off, so I think now I'll just wait for him to pop out. Here he comes. And just took off that last bit of health. He took a hit from, I don't know if it was the TD or the medium, but yeah, cracking game in my T29. Really happy with that one. It's the first time I've been in it for a few weeks. Came out of that with a nice daily double of just over 6,000 XP and 116,000 silver, although I think some of that was from ops. A high caliber, demolition expert. Oh, I did. I didn't realise I'd done that. A patrol duty as well, and an ace tanker, and just over 4,300 damage done. With 1,300, well, just under 1,400 assisted, and 2,875 blocked. So yeah, really happy with that result. And I think it put me up to about 90%. Yeah, 90.64, so I went up about 2% with that match. So yeah, 5 more to go, and I'll be happy. And then I'll probably just leave it for a while. But yeah, definitely I do like the T29. And I do know there's a lot of sort of competition between which is the best sort of tier 7 heavy. Is it the Tiger, is it the T29? And I'd say it depends on the situation, to be honest. I'd say in certain situations the T29 will always kick a Tiger's arse, and in others the Tiger will always win. So I'd say they're probably joint first, to be fair. Anyway, last of the replays for you, another American. This one's from today. It's the T30 Tier 9 American TD. Used to be the Tier 10 TD. No, sorry, Tier 10 Heavy way back when World of Tanks first came out on the PC, and there was the Russian line, the German line, and a very underdeveloped American one. And this was the Tier 10, and then it got moved to the Tier 9 TD when the T110E5 got introduced years ago. But anyway, I've got it fully upgraded, and it is essentially a Tier 9 T29 with a very, very big gun. It's got 102mm of armour on the front, just like a T29 does, 76 on the side, 51 on the rear. And yeah, the turret is 279 on the front, 127 on the sides, 102 on the rear. But, like I say, it has a very big gun, 155mm, only 2.86 rounds a minute, which is quite a slow rate of fire, but then again, 276 pen and 750 average damage. So yeah, it really can cause a mess of things, or make a mess of things. Yeah, when I can when I can get my words out properly. Anyway, we're on the defence on an assault, and this STI is about to have a very, very bad day. Yep, I was very pleased with that shot. In fact, yeah, you can see there I was almost a bit stunned. It's like, what? That was fantastic. So yeah, ammo racked him from full health. So I do apologise. But yeah, that was funny. Managed to finish off the IS-2, and that is why I like the T30. And when you top tier, like I am here, it's a tier 9 match. I mean, even in a tier 10 match, I kind of play this like I would a heavy tank. I play it like I would a T29. Oh, just didn't quite pull the trigger in time. Now, let's have a look. See what else is out in the field. I'm keeping an eye on the south of the map, because there's quite a concentration of heavy tanks over on that side. Oh, there's an enemy T29 out in the field. Wait for the aim. I think I'll go for the... yeah, go for the hull. There we go. It's very, very satisfying. Anybody who's been through this, or been through the ISU 152, will just know how satisfying it is when you just fire at something and take off 700 odd health. Yeah, it makes you feel good. It's a very fun tank. This is, in fact, this is one I'm definitely going to keep. I'm not even really that bothered about the T110E4, to be honest. It's more about the T30 on this line for me. Obviously, I'll unlock the T110E4. I'll probably buy it, but this is, I think this is probably the highlight of the line, definitely. The only thing with this is that the commander's hatch does seem to be a bit larger on the turret. Obviously, we've not got the rangefinders there, as you can see, but there are no hit zones on the T29 anyway. But the commander's hatch does seem to be a little bit larger and easier to hit on this. So if you do come up against one of these hull down, try and go for the commander's hatch. It is a bit easier. Or if you've got enough pen, you know, if you're sort of same tier or higher tier, try and go for the turret cheeks if you can, if the turret's not quite facing you. Yeah, I made a mess of that T28. Got Fatherland here, and of course it goes high and bounces off his gun mantle. A perfect shot at the side of his tank, and yeah, it misses. I took a hit there, although it didn't seem to do much damage. That's what I wanted to do the first time, because they've made quite a push through the south side of the town. And I'm going to try and finish them off. Oh, the FV201. I'm kind of glad somebody finished him off. I wasn't loaded. Plus, sometimes you just don't want to for a little tiny bit of health like that when you've got such a big, long reload. You kind of don't want to do it, and I probably would have gone for the ram, to be fair. Oh, that went slightly high. Bounced off the side of the T-29's turret. And I'm just got to be steady. There's the enemy T-30. Luckily, my tracks ate that one. I feel quite exposed out here, and yeah, took a hit from the M103. Could have done without that. And that was very close. Was that the T-30 that just bounced? That could have been a lot nastier. Mind you, he might not be fully upgraded. He might have the 120mm gun. Still a damn good gun. Very good rate of fire on that one in this tank. And I kind of feel that it really ought to be an option as a sort of top gun on it. Either have the 120 or the 155. Because you do sacrifice damage and pen, but your rate of fire is very good on the 120. So I kind of would like to see it as an alternative, maybe. It just makes the tank play a bit differently. Now I do feel again a bit exposed. It did not mean to block that STI there. I was just aiming up to take a shot at the IS-3 and did not realise I was in his way. So I did apologise. And yeah, just as I'm backing off, the T-29 manages to take me out, and that was it. But not a bad game, unfortunately, even though it was a defeat. Unfortunately, not a bad game? No, not a bad game. Fortunately, even though it was a defeat. Came out with a high caliber and just under 5,400 damage done with 5,386. So yeah, not a bad round, and it was worth it for ammo racking that STI. It really was. It's just such a good feeling when you do that from full health. There's nothing quite like it, and it's such a disappointment when you do it from next to no health as well. I'm sure we've all been there. But even though that was a loss, it put me at the top of the table, and yeah, it just made me fall in love with the T-30 even more. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's video. I'll be back tomorrow with another one, so until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.